Good morning, Dylan with Huntsville Guns. Wanted to take a quick minute this morning before I got my day started to cover a project that came in yesterday and cover one of my pet peeves, and that is built versus bought AR-15s. I get a lot of firearms that come in for various reliability issues, and in the AR world, 7 or 8 times out of 10, those issues can go back to the person who put the firearm together and a lack of basic knowledge in what makes these guns run. So this particular firearm belongs to a customer, and it is a fairly common entry-level brand. Has a horse for the logo. I'll give you a hint. First things first, when I look at a firearm, I look at fit and finish. What you see is a commercial stock on a mil-spec tube. The fit and finish is terrible. It's cheap Chinese airsoft parts to begin with, but it wasn't built for, these two things do not go together. Somebody ordered parts, didn't know what they were looking at. Trigger group, mil-spec, as far as trigger pull goes, nothing horrendous, but nothing fantastic. All of the pins, see if you can hear that. All of the pins are loose in the bore, and the finish on all of the metal components is what I would consider substandard. Like your forward assist is already losing its parkerizing. This gun has less than 100 rounds through it. Second thing is, when you look at enough firearms, especially in the AR world, you start to notice a trend. This bolt carrier is made by a very common entry-level manufacturer. And when I say entry-level, I mean price point. These are all over the market, sub $100. They're advertised as MPI or magnetic particle inspected. And I can tell you from personal experience that I have replaced 3 or 4 broken firing pins from this exact bolt carrier group in the last 6 months. Heat treat's not great on them. The staking on the carrier key is not great on them. They are not a chrome lined bore in the bolt carrier. Another thing, this is a same manufacturer for the barrel as it is for the bolt carrier. Barrels, you get one good one, and you might get one bad one. I'd say 50-50. This gun was put together from parts. I can tell you that it was not a kit. Somebody ordered a bunch of stuff. Again, cheap Chinese airsoft parts. The peel washer or crush washer is not installed correctly. It's facing the correct direction, but it's not indexed. It's canted. It's probably a 5/8 crush washer on a half 28 barrel. Again, all of the finishing components, ejection port cover is substandard finish. The parkerizing's already wearing off of it. This gun is in 7.62x39. I don't know if I mentioned that, which is not my favorite caliber in an AR. They can be made to run somewhat reliably, but usually if someone put this together in their laundry room or their workbench in wherever they're working on it, they take some tinkering to run well. I can tell you that this gun does not run well. The customer has tried 4 different magazines, which was the builder's recommendation, and a plethora of ammo, everything from Hornady Black to PPU to Milsurp steel case, and can't find anything that runs well in it. I can look at it and tell you that it isn't running well because there's a bunch of marks on the front of the ejection port and a bunch of brass from where it's been stovepiping and doing all kinds of weird things. So initial diagnosis is it is a 7.62x39 bolt. It's marked as such. However, the extractor is not cut deep enough. It will barely grab a piece of brass, and it does so. Let me see if I can get close enough to show you. It grabs here and here, but not under the radius of the extractor. It's not cut deep enough, fairly common on these guns. Also, the spring in this gun is kinked, and it is not the correct length. Again, probably cheap Chinese parts kit. The buffer, you can see sub 100 rounds, missing a lot of the anodizing off the front of the buffer. This buffer is getting beat to death. It has a burr rolled over on this edge. This is actually a carbine weight buffer. And for 7.62x39 guns, carbine length gas system, you can see your gas block here. I always recommend an H2 or H3 buffer. 7.62x39, 50 Beowulf. A lot of your heavier recoil cartridges require a heavier buffer. Again, just wanted to take a minute to run down with you what I see on a pretty regular basis. People buy guns off of their local gun trader website, or from a guy who managed to get it listed on Marketplace long enough to sell it. And what I see is reliability, things that you wouldn't get if it was a gun coming from a manufacturer. Not surprisingly, this gun was actually built by a dealer who was licensed as a manufacturer. And when I say built by that dealer, I mean assembled. I know the name that is engraved on the side of this receiver, and that particular dealer would order lowers and order lower parts kits or pieces of lower parts kits from what's on sale, and order an upper receiver and a barrel and a bolt carrier, and get parts from everywhere he could get them cheaply, and assemble a firearm. To the best of my knowledge, he never machined parts. He never headspaced any barrel bolt combos. He never test fired any of these. He just assembled parts and sold them as complete firearms. That's why they're marked the way that they are. Again, castle nuts not staked, incorrect peel washer. The sum of the parts does not equal the same as a commercially built, warranted firearm. And in this customer's case, he has to bring it to me and spend some additional money to make it run reliably. I hope this helps. I'm not trying to knock any particular company. Everybody has a budget. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments down below or send me a message. You can also hit me on Instagram. I am more than happy to point you in the right direction for a budget-friendly quality part for your next AR build, or to point you in the right direction to get your assembled firearm up and running. Have a great day.